All right, good afternoon. Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here at my home studio and through the 1010XL podcast studios. Great to be here. Great to be alive. Happy Monday of Thanksgiving week. Going to be an awesome week. And I'm sure you have a lot going on like we do. But here we are on a Monday, and it's Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Brought to you by our good friends at Team Tommy Mac, a great group of businesses. That man, I tell you, they're always there when you need them, and you may not need them today, but you're gonna need them. Had a friend of mine call me last week about carpet, man. He's like, man, I wasn't looking for it, and then all of a sudden we had a leak. We had to replace our flooring, yada, yada. Called up Carpet Man, got it done, man. They're always there for you when needed. We'll get into all of them a little bit later on. Today's Monday, like I said. Grammage is back in the studio of 1010. And I'm here, like I said, at home awaiting Thanksgiving Day. I got family coming in, and I'll be with my mother, and then with a lot of friends and family and whatnot. I wish you all nothing but a great week, and hopefully it's not too tough of a week for you. I tell you, it was kind of nice today for me this morning, not having to watch film of our Jaguars. And you know, like I've said many a time, it's a drag when they lose. When you cover this team, and especially, you know, as an independent, which I like, trust me, you know, you got to go through it. You got to watch that tape. There's no doubt, but it sucks when it's not good, and it's week after week. Hopefully, they can change that. They got Houston coming to town on December the 1st. Houston's 7-5. They've lost one. They haven't been great. C.J. Stroud is in a sophomore slump, if you will. He's got 5 games to figure that out. You know, and by the way, I was looking up his stats because I was curious, and I did not know, but he's got over 2,800 yards passing. He has 14 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, and he's got a 7-5 record. So, did a little math. It's like 230 yards a game. He'll add another 1,200 to his total. So he may end up with 4,000 yards passing. If the TD ratio and interception ratio doesn't get better, if he doesn't win more games, getting him into the playoffs, yards mean nothing. The whole yard thing, I don't even care half the time how many yards you throw for. How many wins is number one, and then how many touchdowns to interceptions are you throwing? You know, how much impact do you really have in the game? That's what I care about for my quarterback. Look, we've seen it before. That second year, they get you on tape, they figure you out, and then they go from there. We're going to break down the game a little bit later in the week on Friday. But I tell you what, great job by the Texans in terms of getting Danielle Hunter to their team. Now, Will Anderson's on one side, Danielle's on the other. Hunter's got 10.5 sacks. Anderson's got 9.5. Going to be tall order. I know you guys all want Walker Littleback, or a lot of you do. I'm not sold on that, but big test for him and Anton this week. We'll get into all that. Just watch Doug's press conference. Doug Peterson, the head football coach of the Jags. Just watch that press conference. I did not watch it live, but I wanted to watch it before I came on here. Trevor, it's going to be up to his pain tolerance if he can go. He felt good today. He'll be off tomorrow because Tuesday's a day off. They're practicing today. Everyone's practicing except one. I couldn't catch the one. I have to think about it, but I couldn't catch. I didn't quite hear what he said. Sounds like Tank's doing a little bit better. Sounds like they're going to get the running game going more, which would be great. Let me make sure that volume's all the way up. So that's what they're saying. They'll get the running game going, which I think they should. And then he said he had some in-house changes that at this time he won't discuss. Okay, great. No problem whatsoever. I go on Twitter to watch, see the comments, and you guys rip them for, I don't understand for what. Like, what do you want him to say there? I don't know. Maybe the questions should be different. I don't go to those things, and I don't want to go to them. I don't care to go to them. Half the time, I don't really care what the coach has to say anyway. I mean, sometimes I want to hear it, and I'll react, but most of the time, I don't need to hear the coach. I watch the team. I know what they're doing. I know it's wrong. I know what they need to fix. But I don't, he's got to stand up there and face the music. They're well rested. They're ready to go. So hopefully they can. Look, I know a lot of you out there don't want them to win. I do. I don't care about the draft. It's not going to matter anyway without changes. And I'm still doing changes. I just want to see, this is for me. So if I'm shot, unless changes are made, Doug and Trent are gone. If Doug's willing to make some changes, I'm still getting rid of Trent. I might keep Doug. Now, he's got to make changes with the staff, and I've been through those, whether it's press or whether it's Ryan. You got to fix both of those or move on, one or the other. But I want to see the grit of the players. I want to see who's coming back. Who can we roll with in 2025? Who can we count on? Who's not going to sandbag it? Who's not going to give up? Who's not going to give up on themselves, on the team, on the organization? Who's it going to be? Should be all of them. You're fighting for your football lives. It'll be over one day. Those that are financially secure, great. But it'll still hurt you when it's over. It'll still sting. And if you didn't do everything you could, you're going to regret it, man. You're going to regret it. There's no question about that. But yeah, I don't know. I tell you, as a coach, I don't know how I'd handle those things. I'd be pretty quick too. I mean, what do you want him to tell you on the in-house changes? Do you want him to tell you that he's taking over plays? What will that do for you? Will it make you feel good? Make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and you'll feel good about the team moving forward? I was more concerned. All I wanted to hear about was Trevor. Was Trevor playing? And he's not saying right now. So I would expect him to play. I mean, he had 2 games in the bye week, right? Or missed the game in the bye week, so that's a couple weeks. No, 2 games. He missed 2 games and then the bye week. So that's 3. It'll be 4. I mean, and look, if he needs surgery, then go get it now. Forget this season. I'm with that. If he doesn't need surgery, then let's rock and roll. Let's go. Let's improve. We got a lot of improvement to go from everybody. Not just him, but for everybody. No question about that. We'll take a look around the National Football League today. And our picks, I did not win the parlay. Damn it. I missed that. I don't know why I didn't take Saquon Barkley for multiple touchdowns. Gosh darn it. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of a little bit thicker Freddie Taylor. Runs like him, fast like him, dynamite like him. And that leads me into my other subject today. Fred Taylor and his Hall of Fame candidacy. Once again, a top 25 semifinalist. This is his 6th time, or 5th time. And they'll know top 15 right before the Super Bowl. I'm going to make a case for Freddie today. I'm a little biased because he's my friend and he's my former teammate. But I've got a pretty good argument. And I think he should be in. I think Jimmy Smith should be in too. I think they're 2 of the best at their position. So we're going to go through that. And, and then we'll take a look at the Jags real quick. Going to Houston coming here. Must win. I mean, every game's a must win, I want to see some grit in front of the hometown team. Hey, by the way, you want some rock and roll before the game? Come check out the Dad Bods at the Duval House. That's right there on Duval Street. We're going to have a good time rocking and rolling. We're adding Green Day. Yeah, we are, man. Basket case. It's going to be awesome. It's going to rock. I went to war. Who said my life's a bore? Yeah, we're going to get in all that. We're going to rock it. It'll be fun. Hopefully walk into the stadium and get it going, and hopefully our team shows up. We have conversations all over the place in this town. Don't we? Every city does. NFL city. I'm at the gym this morning. I'm talking to my friends. I see people I know. I see people I see in there. We become, friendly and acquaintances and friends and whatnot. All talking Jags. I'm having a conversation with my good friend, and she's like, man, she's a Bills fan, but she's a Jag fan too. Her husband's Fan Cam. Y'all know Fan. And, we start talking. We've known each other for a long time. And I'm like, this team's got enough talent to be 500. Don't even tell me they don't, because they do. They've made mistake after mistake, way too many repeated mistakes, way too many bad calls, bad throws, bad catches, non-catches, bad blocks, bad tackling, all of it. Bad coverage, out of coverage, missing assignments, not seeing what the hell's going on, not keeping your eyes open, all that stuff. This team very well could be 6-5. Without question, man. Now, Buffalo kicked the shit out of you, and so did Detroit, and so did Chicago. So there's 3. You're not getting them back. But the others, come on, you had chances to win those games. You sure did. Cleveland, are we the only team that Deshaun Watson beat? Did I hear that? I think we are. That's despicable, man. Good for Jameis Winston. He's a trip. I love him. Listen, I'm a big believer in the Lord, man. Without question. I love the way he speaks, man. He's a prophet all the way, but he backs it up too. But yeah, Cleveland should have been a game of ours. There's others. You can't make mistakes. Not when you're not, you can't overcome them. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. Nonetheless, we're sitting here at 2-9, and it sucks. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy whatsoever. I'm interested to see the changes. I hope it's play calling, and I hope on defense that, we keep our best players on the freaking field. That's like 101. Enough of this rotating crap. Keep your backups as backups. They're not good enough to be your full-time starter. They don't need a series. They don't need a series, for crying out loud. And let my guys get in a rhythm, Ryan. I don't understand that. I don't want to go over it again. It just doesn't make sense to me. But play the best guys. Leave them in there. Spell them when they need a break. Other than that, let them play. Let them get a rhythm. Let them get going. We need this team to get going. I'll tell you what the battle is this week. Battle of our pass rushers. Who's got the better duo? Us or them? Stats-wise, it's them. But can we make a case this Sunday? I hope so. You got to get to Stroud. You don't get to Stroud, he will pick your ass apart. You'll be done. He's done it before. He'll do it again. I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you're in zone. But you can rattle him just like you can rattle most quarterbacks in the NFL. And you need to rattle his ass. So we'll see what that goes. And hopefully it's in our favor. We'll talk more about that as we go on. No final team stats today. I told you where they're at. The rankings are terrible. I may go over them real quick. We'll see about that. All right, Freddie Taylor, top 25, Hall of Fame semifinalist, down from 167. This is his 5th or 6th time. 6 times a semifinalist. They go from 25 to 15. Okay, so here's my problem, and I hate saying this. I've said this before. I hate saying it because I wasn't a Hall of Fame player. I wasn't a Pro Bowler. I wasn't an All-Pro. And I don't mean this, fans, to hurt you at all. I don't. But here's the problem with the Hall of Fame, is the amount of Pro Bowls you go to, whether it's written or not, is factored in to the decision-making. 10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time, 6-time, 5-time, whatever it is, that gets factored in. Well, it shouldn't get factored in my opinion. Or it should be a small amount factored, real small amount, like 5%, because you guys get into a popularity contest. And no matter who's having a great year, you'll still pick the one that you like the most. You know what I mean? Especially at positions you're not really paying attention to, like linebacker. Like Ray Lewis, and he was great, don't get me wrong. But who's going to unseat Ray Lewis? Even when he had that one bad year. I don't know if he made it that year. I should look. I should have looked that up, but I didn't. When they made him play a 3-4, he got his ass kicked all year. Remember? And then he complained publicly, let me be me. Like every middle linebacker doesn't want to be roaming free to the running back, right? You know what I mean? I'd like to be me too. No one block me. I just want to hit the running back. Man, what a great life that is. Great player, no doubt about it. But I don't think Pro Bowls should count. I think all pros should count. The writers should count. And then the peers should really count too. I think the writers should count big time. I'm not taking that away from our Hall of Fame voters. I know one of them's a good friend of mine, Sam McKay. Not the only one here in town, but one of them. And, the voters matter. But I think it really should come from the peers. I said this with Baselli. I mean, you look at Baselli before he got in. You look at the 4 tackles that were in from his era. Ogden, Pace, Rofe, and Jones out in Seattle. All great left tackles. Great. Walter Jones. I mean, all of them. They were all great. I remember Willie Rofe was a rookie when I tried out for the Saints. He was drafted number 1, first round. I was a rookie free agent. But I remember him, man. He was his athleticism and his size was insane. And he had on these glasses, like these smart, he looked really smart, you know. He looked almost nerdy. And he walked on his toes, and he kind of, big dude walking on his toes. It's funny, whenever I see anybody walking on their toes, I know some people say it's something else. I say it's athleticism, for crying out loud. But he was incredible. Walter Jones was incredible. Ogden was incredible. So was Pace. But Baselli was as good or better than all of them. And I know he's better than Pace. No offense to Orlando Pace. He was great. Walter probably gives him a run for his money. Willie was good. Willie Rofus. But Tony was just as good. And all you had to do was, and I don't mean our presenter, but you get other players that he went against some players of his same position, and you let them tell you why Tony Baselli should be a Hall of Famer. Fast forward to Fred. I'm going to read you the running backs that are in. The guys that overlap Fred's time, and almost all of them I've tackled, which is pretty cool. I mean, if I do say so myself. And I remember every one of them. Not the tackles, everyone, but the players. And then we're also, the first ballots are interesting. There's some heavyweights in the first ballot. No question about it. But let's talk about Freddie Taylor, okay? First of all, I've said this many, 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 many times. Freddie and Barry Sanders are the only players in the history of the game to have more than 2,500 carries in the course of their career and average 4.6 yards a carry or better. They're the only two. Is that not enough? That'd be enough for me, especially with 2,500 carries. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you look at, and it's too bad, his rookie year was insane. How he didn't make the Pro Bowl, well, you know how, because the other guys had popularity over. I think it was Jamal Lewis, Jamal Charles, Lindanian. I mean, well worthy. And Seattle's Alexander, I don't know if you remember what 98 was, but he had a lot of competition. But his rookie year was absolutely insane. With 17 total touchdowns, 14 rushing, average 4.6 yards a carry, had 44 receptions for almost 10 yards, had the longest 78 for the touchdown against Baltimore. I remember that well. That's when Freddie told me his story, how the bullies in his neighborhood would sick their Rottweilers on him and his friends. They'd have to run home, and when he got home, his grandma would be like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" The dogs chased me, and she'd go out and get him ice cream. And he always said that made him feel good. And I asked him, like, "Did you ever get caught?" He's like, "No, they never caught me." So yeah, he just fast, dynamic, built like a brick shit house. I hit him in practice, whole body felt it, man, and we weren't even full speed. You can tell when you hit somebody, right? And I'm not going to disrespect these guys because these are great backs, but a couple of them, weren't that physical. They were still very good. Like Terrell Davis, he wasn't going to run your ass over unless he caught you off balance, but he could make you miss in the hole. He was shifty and all that. Thurman Thomas was kind of a thumper, but he wasn't that big. You know what I mean? But fantastic player. Are you kidding me? The guy was insanely good. Loved playing against him, against Buffalo, and Terrell against Denver, of course. Curtis Martin, I played against him in college and pro. Tackled him many times. He was good, man. He was a thick, deceptively quick, not like beat you for 80 yards, but fast enough. And just a durable guy, man. Durable guy. Could see the field great. He was tough. He was good. I never played against LaDainian Tomlinson. He was insane. Marshall Faulk was insane. I never played against him. Holy cow. Wow. Now that's a change. That's a game-breaking, change-making type guy. You know what I mean? Marshall Faulk. Holy moly. They couldn't catch him at all. They couldn't catch Freddie either. Freddie was massive at 230. I'm looking at his stats here. You know, you look at how I am with yards per carry. I think it tells everything. It tells everything. Because you could, look, if I have 100 yards on 30 carries, so what? That's not good. It's not. Averaging 3.3 yards a carry sucks. That's not even good. But it's 100 yards. Yards don't matter in that regard at all. In my opinion, they don't. Listen to this yards per carry for Freddie Taylor over the course of his career. 4.6, 4.6, 4.8, 3.9 in only 2 games in 2001. 4.6, 4.6, 4.7, 4.1 in 2005 on 11 games. 5.0, 5.4, both of those 15 games. 3.9 in 13 games, 4.3 in 6 games with New England, and then a 3.6, ending with 4.6 yards per carry. Guy was insane. There's no doubt he's not as good or better. So Bettis, beast. That guy was a bitch and a half to tackle. I'll tell you a great story. It was a great story. It was. And I almost thought I broke my jaw in two places. We're on Monday Night Football against Pittsburgh, and we had them pinned, or they were pinned in the north end zone. And Bettis ran a counter tray. It was the easiest play to read. They didn't care because that guard was coming through. Sometimes they pulled Dermontti Dawson, their incredible center, but that guard or tackle were coming through. They didn't care who was there. And then it was up to Bettis to run the guy over in the hole, which he was very capable of doing. So I read it perfect. I'm front side. He's coming to me. Our defensive tackle gets penetration, so it's just me and Bettis in the hole, and it was a thwack. And we stood each other up, and both of my chin straps, the back ones, popped off, and my mask started going down like this. Well, right as we stand each other up, and the pop goes, I get hit from the side with him. Kelvin Pritchett, my defensive tackle, and an offensive tackle on top of him, or guard, they all fall on me, and I turn, and Bettis' fat, sweaty belly's in my face, and those two big behemoths are on top of him, and the face guard is digging into my chin, and it's just pushing. I swear, I thought it was just going to pop on both sides. I was just like, please get off, please get off. Finally, they started letting off. Holy cow. And I get up, I was like, whoo, hey, put on my helmet, strap the back on. All right, let's go again. I mean, he was an absolute beast. And that guy brought it every down. There were players you could hit early that wouldn't run as hard. He wasn't one, like later on. If you hit him early, they wouldn't run as hard. Bettis was not like that, no. He ran hard in college, so we played with the Notre Dame. My 5th year, they kicked the shit out of us. Bettis, Terrell Davis. Terrell was great. Marshall Faulk, Curtis Martin, Barry and Emmett, Thurman Thomas, LaDainian Tomlinson. Those are all running backs that cross paths to a certain degree with Fred Taylor's career in terms of years, the years they were playing. Who are you taking over Fred Taylor? Who are you taking? And I'll tell you this, if I may. If Fred never yanked the tendon from his groin bone and hurt that year, he would have finished with the most yards rushing in the National Football League, without question in my book, without question, because it took him a minute to get back to his old ways. If you remember, he was dancing a little bit in the backfield after that groin thing. That was bad, man. It ripped right off his pelvic bone. Had to have surgery to put it back. All that time to rehab. Let it heal, then get back. He wasn't hitting the hole like he used to. But then he did. Then he got over and started. I'm telling you right now. I did the math once. At 14.6 yards a carry, if he played in half, he'd be near the top bar. He'd be at 15,000 yards. I mean, that's how good Freddie Taylor was. And don't give me, you're giving me the injury. Well, you know what? Terrell Davis only played 7 years. He's better than Terrell Davis. Terrell, I love you, man. You were fantastic. But I'd take Freddie Taylor over Terrell Davis all day long. I would. More physical, more powerful. Take it to the house on any given moment. I don't know. Bettis, would I? No, I probably wouldn't. I mean, Bettis he's great. And Freddie's just as great. No doubt. Falk was different. You could use him a little bit differently. Curtis is good, man. But Freddie takes it to the house. Freddie is Curtis Martin that can take it to the house. You know what I mean? Powerful, bulldoze you, wear you down, and then shink it all the way for 80 yards. I don't think Curtis had that in him, but Freddie Taylor did. No doubt about it. Barry and Emmett, Barry Sanders, come on, he's one of the best. Emmett was great. No doubt about it. I wonder, put Barry instead of Emmett. And it's not fair because Emmett was fantastic. Cowboy fans, don't get upset. And Emmett, you're the best. You're one of the best. There's no doubt about it. But Emmett had a great team along with him. Great defense, great O-line, great receivers, great tight ends, great quarterback. He was great too. There's no doubt. I'll never forget when he had the shoulder separation in the playoffs against the Giants and kept playing and had a monster game. He was so tough. I'll never forget that. That was an incredible game for Emmitt Smith. Thurman Thomas, phenomenal. It's hard to sit there and be like, Fred. I mean, those guys, they're just as good. Fred can't be better than all of them, but he's just as good as everyone, without question, in my opinion. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt in my mind. Again, don't fault the guy because he, got hurt and missed some time. And that yards per carry, take that yards per carry, take the players he went against, take the guys that are already in, and let them ask them how they feel about Fred Taylor as a player. Most of them would say he was a brick wall that could take it to the house. And that's a scary thing. He was absolutely incredible. I love Freddie. Freddie's one of my favorite. He was tough blocking. He could pick up the blitz. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. He was very good at catching the ball. He was an absolutely dynamite player. There's no way Fred Taylor should not be in the Hall of Fame. No way. You can't give me an argument for that. I don't care about Super Bowls. And look, here's another thing. I don't know how you feel about it. I guess you got to factor it in. But a lot of players that are in, they had big-time moments in Super Bowl big-time games. You know what I mean? And if they didn't, would they still be in? Some would, no doubt. But you got to wonder if Freddie and Jimmy too, no big moments in that Super Bowl. We didn't get to them. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Playoffs count. Freddie had big plays in the playoffs, so did Jim. Anyway, we'll see about that. All right, first ballot, on the first-year ballot, Eli, he's in. I mean, he's just going to be in based on the name. 2 Super Bowl wins. Tell you what, if he gets in, how does Coughlin not get in? Him and Coughlin should get in together. Luke Kuechly, come on, best ever. Him and Ray make an argument. I don't care. They're both great. Terrell Suggs, phenomenal. He had over 100 sacks. What's Terrell Suggs' stats? Huh? Hey, Siri, how many sacks did Terrell Suggs have? I don't know if she can answer me while I'm on video. I guess she can. Come on, man. Get with the program. I think he had 100 plus. Let me see if I can figure that out while we speak. Earl Thomas, I don't know. What do you think? Earl was a great safety, but is he a Hall of Famer? Legend of Doom. He's got that going for him. Super Bowl win. Maybe. Let's see if we can pull him up. And then we got Marshall Yanda, the great offensive lineman. I don't know where you put him in there. As far as first ballot, I wouldn't think so. And then Adam Vinatieri is a total first ballot Hall of Famer. No question about that. All right, Terrell Suggs, let's see what he's got here. I think he's got 100 plus sacks, doesn't he? I'm loving it. He was a beast, man. Total beast. 139. Fucking A right, he's in. First ballot, forget about it. Terrell Suggs, first ballot. Eli, first ballot. Terrell Suggs, first ballot. Luke, first ballot. And Vinatieri, first ballot. So there's your 4. That's going to be tough. Out of that, you got 6, you had 15 or 25 right now. If Freddie can get in the 15, he's got a good shot, man. I'd take him. I would take him. I know there's others out there that you can make a case for, but to me, Freddie Taylor deserves to be there wearing that gold jacket. You look good in teal jacket. Now I got to give him the gold jacket, and then we got to work on Jimmy, because Jimmy's stats, they're right up there too. I think what hurts Jimmy is the Isaac Bruce being in the Super Bowl, Torrey Holt being in. They're not better than him. They're not better than him. They're good. They're great players, but they're not better than Jimmy Smith. But they'll have a chance because they have big plays in that Super Bowl, whether you like it or not. I feel like that's part of it. Should it be though? I think it should be to a certain degree. Again, I think the peers are the ones that should have the most influence on Hall of Fame picks. Go get Ray Lewis. Go get Terrell Suggs. Go get whoever. I don't care, on defense. And whoever were big time players during the era that Freddie played. How do you feel about Fred? What was it like to go against Fred Taylor? You know? And I think they would all say the same thing. He was one of the best players to ever play running back. I tell you what, watching Saquon, man, he runs like Freddie. He's a beast. He's a beast. You gotta love it. Running backs making a comeback, huh? Maybe so. Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. But nonetheless, Freddie Taylor hopefully can get in to the Super Bowl or the Hall of Fame. They'll know right before the Super Bowl. All right, let's go through the picks. I didn't do that great. I didn't do that bad because my points were good because I hit all my good points. Let's see my wins. I had Detroit. I had Miami. I had Tampa. Giants, terrible. I had Washington like everybody else probably. Maybe not everybody, but lost that one. I had KC. Can't believe Carolina took them to the wire. But, letdown game maybe. I don't know. Had Denver. Denver's playing some outstanding football, man. I tell you what, Sean Payton, he's got them believing. They're 7-5. I mean, they're not lighting the world on fire, but I didn't think they would be there at this time. Green Bay, San Fran. Oh, not good, San Fran. No Bosa, no Purdy. He struggled all day. Good for Green Bay. They came to play, man. They were incredible. They were absolutely incredible. Let's see here. Seattle beats Arizona. Seattle having a great year. They're for real. Where are they at? They're 6-5. I shouldn't say they're for real. They're 6-5. They're both 6-5. A good head-to-head. That'll be an interesting one coming down to the wire with 6 games to play. Philadelphia takes care of the Rams last night. I had that one too. I got Baltimore tonight beating the Chargers. Be the 3rd time in a row that John beats Jim. I just think Baltimore's a team that's destined right now. So you look at the National Football Conference, Philly at 9-2, Detroit at 10-1, Minnesota at 9-2, Green Bay at 8-3. Going to be a tight race. So you got to win your division. Atlanta's at 6-5, leading that division. Tampa at 5-6, Seattle at 6-5, Arizona at 6-5, the other two at 5-6. That one's up for grabs. The South is kind of up for grabs too, I would say. And then you got to see how Washington finishes with their 2 games out from Philadelphia. On the AFC side, of course, you got KC at 10-1, and Buffalo at 9-2, Pittsburgh at 8-3. I love Tomlin. Bunch of 7-3s, 7-4s. Baltimore, Chargers, 7-5. Broncos, 7-5. Texans. They're only up 2 games. With Indianapolis. So we'll see. Should be a fun way to end the year, at least for those teams. Word is on the street if we lose, we're eliminated. I don't expect us to get in the playoffs. Now, could 8-9 get you in? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Let's see. You got 9-2, 8-3, 7-4, 7-5, 10-1, 7-3, 7-5. That's going to be tough. You're going to have, maybe 8-9 could get you maybe in. We'll see how they finish. All those teams that are right there on the bubble. But I don't even care about that. I honestly don't. Here's what I want, okay? I want this team to finish strong. And I still want the owner to make changes. Because I do think that Trent and Doug they're not on the same page. I think there's some infighting. I know he's told me that. I can just tell by looking from the outside in with what they're doing with certain players, how certain players, where they're playing, how they're playing, all that stuff. There's some kind of crap. And let me tell you something. When you're 2-9, and I know this for a fact, and I'm not saying they're doing it, but they are eventually going to. They're all going to save their own ass, right? Balky's going to go, hey, Mr. Khan, you said it was, the greatest team ever assembled. It can't be my fault. It's the coach's fault, right? And then you'll be like, well, if it's the greatest team ever assembled, why did we trade away Roy Robinson Harris, one of our better players? Why did we get rid of him? Why are we 2-9 if it's our best players? Can't be all coaching. Defense has let us down. I wish Ryan, and I hope change for Ryan. Because I don't want anybody to get fired. I don't. And I don't mean that like they don't deserve it. They deserve it. At least at this point in the year. Can they finish and show us some kind of grit This city's made up of gritty people. You know, show some grit for this fan base, for this organization, for the city. We'll see if they can do it, man. I don't know how I feel yet about Houston. Let's look them up real quick. All right, I'll do a little homework while I got you on here. So normally what I look at, I'll go to the team. I don't watch any film on the team, I'll be honest with you. I don't really have to going in. I'll look at stats, I'll look at individual, and I'll also look at team. I'll look at depth chart. Of course, you got to know the injury situation. Let's see how they are as a team on stats, right? Third down, fourth down, points. So they give up 22 points, they score 24. Third down, they're 37% on offense, 35% on defense. Really good on defense. Need to be better on offense. Fourth down, they're 8 of 12 on offense, 10 of 17. Fourth down's tough. You can't expect anybody to do that great. Yards per attempt, they're 7.2. And, man, pass attempt, 6.7. They've given up 24 passing touchdowns, but they have 42 sacks and 15 interceptions. Gosh, dang, Jags, where are you? Terrible. And then they've given up 40 sacks. So Stroud's been getting beat up. So that's good. Maybe we can get to them. We got to keep. I hope Trevor plays, man. Come on, Trev. Come on, baby. Come on. If you need surgery, go get it now. Just fuck it. I mean, that's where if he needs surgery, definitely shut it down. It's over. No need to put him out there if he needs surgery. Let's go clean it up. Let's go fix it up. Let's get him ready for next year. It's fine. I'd rather have him not need surgery if he did need it, and have him continue to develop. He needs more work. Not just him, just the connections with BTJ and the other guy. You need it. You need it so we can roll into 2025 feeling really good about what's going on. But yeah, they're getting after it on defense. The Texans are with all those sacks. What are we at, 20? Where are we at? I think I wrote it down. I know we didn't have much the week before. I nearly lost you, yeah. Let's see here. Team stats review. All right, hang on. I know this is terrible radio, even though I'm not on the radio. Here we go. Sacks, 24. Giving up 24. Yeah, we're pretty good on that end. They're at 40, but they're at 42. They got double the amount of sacks as we do. Fucking despicable. Sorry about my language. Despicable. No doubt about that. Can they turn it around in the final 6 games? That is my hope. And I know players want to win. They're not going to tank. That's for fans. And it's okay. Fans want that. That's fine. You're fans. Good. You can have you can ask for whatever you want. I mean, you get it, but you can ask for it. But this team needs to show some fucking nuts, in my opinion. Some cojones, some grit. Like, what matters to you? The only thing that should matter to you, other than your family, professionally, is football. That's it. So hopefully you're doing your job and studying and getting ready and getting prepared and, taking care of that body and taking care of that mind and not partying too hard and make sure you get the workouts in and all that stuff. I'm glad they're well rested. I'm sure every team would like to be well rested right now, especially the ones that are going to go to the playoffs, because they won't be well rested at all. They'll be tired going in. Team Tommy Mac brings you Catching Up with Tommy Mac, my group of businesses that I love endorsing. From Chris Lucero's bail bonds, get you out in a blink, man. Don't get thrown in jail, but if you do, him and his team, the number one name in the bail game, they get you out of the clink in a blink. 904-822-2245. Put in your phone, and you'll thank me later. Carberman Floyd, carberman.biz. They're the best. They get the highest quality at the lowest prices. St. John's Bluff Road and out in Orange Park. They're 2 locations, 2 massive warehouses full of product to make a deal on. They'll get you a great deal. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Hey, 'tis the season, right? Might be getting rid of some of your junk, quote unquote. Your junk might be another person's treasure. We all know that story. Listen, what does J-Dog do? They come to your house or your business. They'll take what you don't want. They'll try to clean it up, refurbish it as best they can, and then they give it to veteran families in need. It's a wonderful company, wonderful organization. By the way, all you contractors, home builders, don't forget about J-Dog Hauling. They'll come and bring you their big-ass tins, fill it up with your construction debris, take it right out for you. 844-GET-JDOG. That's the OG way to spell dog. 844-GET-JDOG. Fields Cadillac, my title sponsor for Riding Shotgun. We're going to do a Riding Shotgun tomorrow night from Blanding Boulevard. My guest, my friend Kevin Porter, who was laser in dodgeball back in the day. He's also played Batman and a bunch of other cool roles. We're going to get into the acting side of things in Riding Shotgun, where my celebrity guest sits in the shotgun seat of a Fields Cadillac. Azar Sausage, I tell you what, man, we're having it again this week. You know what I did with some leftovers? I cut it up and put it in my omelet yesterday. It was absolutely insane. The andouille, the hot, all very, very good. And you get them in the Winn-Dixie stores or all your local grocers or what have you. In your favorite dish or in a bun, Azar Sausage is the one. Code Ninjas, CodeNinjas.com, 4 great locations, Fleming Island, Bay Meadows, World Golf, and Ponte Vedra. Get your kid into the after-school program where they learn all about coding, technology, security, building games, roadblocks, you name Roblox, and you name it. They've got it for your child to earn their belts all the way from white to black belt. And when they're done, they get to design and build their own video game. Pretty darn cool. CodeNinjas.com. Freedom Finance, that's my friend Courtney Myers. He is a extraordinaire when it comes to financing, accounting, bookkeeping, forecasting, auditing, whatever you need, raising money, raising funds. Go to freedomfinance.llc. He helps small business. He helps early start. He helps early stage and brand new businesses. So give a chance. freedomfinance.llc for Courtney Myers. Newark Phoenix Realty Group, my friends for over 20 plus years. The #1 team in commercial real estate, office, industrial, retail, investments, and development. Give them a call, 904-399-5222. Salt Air Inn and Suites. Salt Air, located just off the ocean, 4 blocks from the ocean, Atlantic Beach, on Atlantic Boulevard, and 2 blocks from all the action. And I tell you what, the action's great. So whether you're in town, spend the weekend here, you're out of town, spend the week here, want to get away for the night, go to Salt Air Inn and Suites, man. They're absolutely fantastic. You can catch them on TommyMac.net. Go to that website, click on the logo, take you right to the website, or I tag each and every one of them on Facebook and other social media when I post. All right, Michael Nick is a State Farm agency. My agent should be your agent as well. Give it a chance anyway. Home or office takes care of life, health, supplemental health, home, and auto. 904-777-6888. Him and his team always ready for you 24/7 with any of your needs. I know prices are going up, but the service is second to none at Michael Nickus' State Farm Agency. And last but not least, Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's Pineapple Ghost. This stuff will rip your tongue off. I'm kidding. It won't rip your tongue off, but it is nice and spicy, and the pineapples are nice and fruity. Man, together, kabang, shing, light that stuff on fire, and you'll have yourself a great hot sauce. Coconut Joe's Hot Sauce at Family Tradition Specialty Foods.com. Make sure you put Pound Team Tommy Mac in that discount code bar and get a BOGO free at Family Tradition Specialty Foods. Of course, I want to thank 1010XL for bringing this show to you each and every time. Twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, talking our Jags, talking NFL, and getting us ready for the week to come. We got great games on Thursday. Looking forward to that. Don't we all love football on Thanksgiving? I know I do. No question about that. And let's see, we're going to have, I should know this already, but we got it. Chicago at Detroit at 12:30. Nice. Detroit will kill them. New York at Dallas. Dallas will kill them. That's at 4:30. Miami at Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay. I think Miami will crumble on national TV. All right. Mark my words on that one. And Friday. Oh, yeah, Friday. We got one. I forgot. Vegas at Kansas City. KC will roll. Minshew broke his collarbone yesterday. Did you see that? That's a shame. He's out for the year. Gardner Minshew is. But should be a great week of football in the National Football League. I'll probably nap through some of those games, but we'll be having a heck of a time just looking ahead. Anything Interesting. Too bad San Fran wasn't playing better. They got Buffalo next Sunday night. Philadelphia at Baltimore should be a heck of a game. No question about that. Arizona, Minnesota, maybe something. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, maybe. Pitt's having a great year. Good for them. I've always liked Mike Tomlin. All right, Jags, it's up to you to turn this stuff around and make sure we can have at least something to be proud of this year. And hopefully we can, clean up the mistakes. I'm telling you again. And it's annoying. It's annoying. Not to say it, but just knowing that if they had a better attitude, last year and this year would be different. Without a doubt. Excuse me, spilling. Without a doubt. Look, last year they got fat and happy. Word inside was not only did they have the great comeback the year before, but that Miller Electric Center was built. They were all pampered like little babies, puppies, if you will, and they all bought into that, thought that, didn't stink, got off to a great start, bad things happened, they crumbled, and now we'll go into the third year with Doug Peterson thinking this is going to be the year, and we crap right down our freaking leg because we're not doing the right things to be successful. You see it out on the field. It's not rocket science. You can see it. Drop balls, wrong routes, bad throws, off throws, missed tackles, off coverage, not knowing the coverage, not getting off blocks, not getting to the quarterback, no inside presence. I mean, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff adds up. The only thing that's been consistent and great is the punting game and the kicking game, the coverage game, and the return game. We need a little bit more of that, but we hopefully can see a little bit of that. But those guys, special teams, they played their ass off all year. Can't say that about the rest of the team. I think with a better attitude and better prep from them, I think this team would be at least 6-5, at least 5-6, with a chance. So you don't have a chance unless again you got to go on a 6-0 run. I doubt you're going to do it, but stranger things have happened. Get to Stroud on Sunday and have a chance, but you better keep those defensive ends off our guy. And if it's Mac, it's Mac. Hopefully it's Trev. I need Trevor back out there. I need him to prove why he is one of the better QBs. Look, I know a lot of you think he is. At times he looks like he can be. But overall, he's not. He has not proven that he's one of the top QBs in the game. Don't give me EPA crap that's for nerds. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about half the time. You see it on the field. He's great at times, and he's not good at times. And to me, if he could just actually quoted a tweet, or I retweeted, Sean Salisbury, my friend out in Houston, former quarterback. He's like, look, if you when you make the extraordinary play, that's great. I'm paraphrasing here. But if you don't make the routine play more times than not, then that extraordinary play just wanes in value. And I agree with that. So hopefully we can, and it's not just Trev, it's everybody. It's everybody. But this team should not be 5-6. And defense has let us down, and play calling has let us down, and execution has let us down. So can they turn it around is the question. I hope so. I don't know. I'm not inside there. I don't know. It's going to be up to the players. It's going to be up to them. If they want it bad enough, it'll happen. If they care enough, it'll happen. And I think they care, but do they care enough? And that's the question. Sure, everybody wants to win. You care to win. But do you care enough to prepare like nobody's business, like nobody else? Like just all you do all week is prepare for the game. Have your family time, of course, wife, kids, what have you. But the rest is all football. And the rest is all preparation. The rest is getting your mind right, your body right, your psyche right. And so you can finish strong. And if you think, I've already said this, if you players think that you're immune to being on the chopping block, you're dead ass wrong. I got more than half of you not even being here next year unless you shape up. Just crazy to think that. In year 4, you're under Balky, year 3 under Doug. We got about half the team that deserves to be here, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But just finish strong, and maybe you can change the minds of me and many, many others. All right, that'll do it for me on a Monday as we get ready for Thanksgiving. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, man. I love Thanksgiving. Yes, the food is phenomenal. The drink's great. The camaraderie, just being with family and friends, and it's all good. You know, it's just a great time to reflect and enjoy. And yes, I wish our team was way better than they are. But again, we're not done yet, and you got to fight to the end, I say, and see what happens. So hopefully they will do just that. So until next time, I'll stay safe out there and be cool out there too, and have a happy Thanksgiving from my family to all of yours. Peace and love, and we'll see you next time. Stay safe, be cool. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac.